The late afternoon sun glinted off the waves at Santa Monica Pier, casting golden streaks across the bustling boardwalk. Street performers played music, families laughed, and the scent of popcorn mixed with salty ocean air. But amid the cheerful chaos, Emma, a 16-year-old girl in a wheelchair, felt the world close in around her. She'd always loved the pier, its lights, its sounds, its life, but today it felt different. A group of teens noticed her, their sneers sharp and cruel. "Move, cripple," one yelled, shoving her wheelchair slightly to the side. Emma's heart raced. Her hands gripped the rims tightly, panic bubbling in her chest. She had faced ignorance before, but nothing quite like this. Her friends were ahead, too caught up in games and laughter to notice. Emma felt small, exposed, and alone. Her usual calm dissolved into a mix of fear and anger. Then came a sound that made her head snap up, a roar of engines growing louder and louder. Heads turned as a sea of bikers rolled onto the pier, leather jackets gleaming in the fading sunlight. Emma froze, unsure whether to be scared or hopeful. The leader, a tall woman with a kind yet commanding presence, stopped in front of the bullies. "Step back," she said, her voice steady and strong. The bullies blinked, taken aback by the sheer force of her presence. Slowly they began to back away, muttering under their breath, until finally they disappeared into the crowd. Emma's heart thumped in disbelief. She had expected anger, shouting, maybe even more cruelty, but not this. Not rescue from complete strangers. One of the bikers knelt beside her, a gentle smile on his face. "Are you okay?" he asked. Emma nodded, unable to find words. The sheer contrast of kindness after such cruelty made her chest tighten. As the bikers lingered, watching over her like guardians, Emma realized something unexpected. The world wasn't entirely harsh. There were people willing to step in, to care, without expecting anything in return. She watched the sun dip lower, the sky now streaked with pink and violet. Around her, the laughter and music of the pier continued, but it all felt different. There was a new warmth in the air, a quiet promise that even when life seemed cruel, compassion could appear in the most unexpected ways. Emma's mind replayed the moment, the roar of motorcycles, the calm authority of the woman, the gentle concern of each rider, and a feeling she hadn't known in a long time stirred inside her. Hope. Her gaze followed the bikers as they slowly began to disperse, leaving her with a strange mix of awe and curiosity. She didn't know their names, their stories, or why they had come. All she knew was that the world had just shown her a glimpse of something extraordinary, a reminder that humanity could rise above cruelty, if only people chose kindness. And in that quiet, golden moment on the pier, Emma realized she had witnessed something rare, something that would stay with her forever. Emma stayed rooted to the spot, her hands trembling slightly on the rims of her wheelchair. The bikers had dispersed into smaller groups, but a few lingered at the edges of the pier, watching to make sure she was truly safe. For the first time in a long while, she felt seen, not for her wheelchair, not for her disability, but for her courage and her humanity. A soft breeze carried the laughter of children chasing a kite near the railing. Emma watched them, and a sudden thought struck her. If strangers could stand up for her today, maybe the world wasn't as harsh as it seemed. Maybe kindness could be louder than cruelty. One of the bikers, a young man with a friendly smile and kind eyes, wheeled closer to her. "It's okay," he said gently. "You didn't deserve that." "Nobody does." Emma looked up at him, surprised by the sincerity in his voice. There was no judgment, no condescension, only genuine concern. You didn't have to do this," she whispered. "We didn't," he replied. "But we wanted to. Sometimes doing the right thing doesn't need a reason. It just needs someone willing to act." Emma felt a lump in her throat. Her mind flashed back to all the times she had faced harsh words, cruel stares, or exclusion. And now, in this unexpected act of compassion, she saw hope reflected back at her. A sudden cheer erupted further down the pier. A street performer had drawn a small crowd, but Emma noticed something different. The same teens who had bullied her were now standing silently at a distance, watching. Their faces were uncertain, uneasy. For the first time, they were confronted by the consequences of cruelty, not punishment, but the undeniable power of empathy and solidarity. Emma realized, almost with a shock, that kindness could be contagious. One act could ripple through strangers, creating a wave far larger than the original gesture. And tonight, on this sunlit pier, she was at the center of one such wave. The bikers gave her small nods and smiles as they prepared to leave. Emma's hands tightened on her wheels, not out of fear but determination. She knew that whatever came next, she would carry the memory of this moment with her, letting it guide her choices, her courage, and the way she treated others, even as the lights of the pier flickered on, casting golden reflections across the ocean. Emma understood one profound truth. Humanity often reveals itself in unexpected ways, and even the smallest acts of kindness could shine brighter than the darkest cruelty. And just as she began to process the depth of what had happened, a new figure approached from the crowd, someone whose presence promised yet another twist in this unforgettable evening.